That was also a lot of the problem I had with some of the old audience at my old workplace. And listen, if I don't think it's wrong, I'm not apologizing. I think if you're in a company and it's not only affecting you and your brand, you should bow down. So if I need to walk on eggshells to a ridiculous amount about everything, then I would just rather not be with the company. Twitter is such a minority in the scale of how big, like, stuff on Twitter will seem like it's the biggest fucking deal ever and quite literally not matter in like 48 hours. That's why a lot of times streamers and stuff or content creators, they don't even know what to address on Twitter. Like what call outs do they take seriously? Like half of what people get called out for on Twitter is quite literally stupid as someone's just mad and wants to make a problem. And you know, enough people on the internet that are like so scared of being on the wrong side of history or so scared of disagreeing with something that seems popular will agree with it without thinking about it. Or they'll blow something really tiny out of proportion because they dislike someone. And then enough people that like choose to be offended by it or choose to not look into it will take what they see at face value. But also I think it's funny is people will get canceled for, let's say they say something like slightly insensitive, right? But then the people that are upset by that, you wanna know what they'll do? Be 30 times more offensive than the person they're calling out. How you gonna tell me to die or like explain to me a step-by-step routine of how to like hang from a ceiling fan when motherfucker you are getting mad at me for making a joke that was not nearly as bad? What the fuck? And I see this every time someone gets canceled. Every time someone gets canceled, damn near like 80% of the comments that are disagreeing with them are telling them more nefarious things than what they got canceled for. How the f are you gonna get canceled for making an out-of-pocket joke that wasn't actually that bad, but then proceed to tell someone else that they should like die or this or that? And I'm like, damn. Then you gonna dox people and shit. Like, what are we doing? Like, what are we actually doing? Like, you do realize you're worse than the person you're calling out, right? And like, the thing is, like 9 times out of 10, the people calling them out are worse than the person they're calling out. Like, I'm gonna be honest, maybe I could forgive, you know, or be more, quote unquote, empathetic towards your fucking psycho doxing and shit. If the person was like some Onision character, okay, yeah, then I'm like, okay, I don't give a fuck what happens to them. But if they not fucking doing some crazy shit, and they made a bad joke, there's no reason for you to go ape shit. I don't know where people get these sorts of like, I don't know how you go from like, this joke upset me to you should die and I hope your mom, you know, loses her job and I'm gonna call and report a bunch of fake things and make sure your cousin doesn't get into college and then I'm gonna make sure your sister gets harassed too and then I'm gonna find your car and I'm gonna poke out your tires. Like, bro, I made a joke that was like a little insensitive and you doing all this? What the f are we doing, bro? How are you so righteous that you don't even see the arrogance in your own ways? Sometimes I've seen some respectful discourse on Twitter, but it's respectful for like 2 tweets. And then after 2 tweets, one person caves and says some crazy shit. No, am I bugging? Yo, I feel like on Twitter, bro, oh my God, you will see a good conversation for like 2 replies. And then one person in that chain will just decide, you know what? Okay, this chain was too boring anyways. Let's spice this shit up. And just say the most nefarious things ever. And then the other person will get triggered and then they'll start saying crazy shit back. And then it's devolved into Twitter again. Like, or some random third party will come out of nowhere and say something crazy and then get both people riled up and then insinuate the fighting. Now, I swear there are some professional Twitter instigators where they don't give a flying F about either side of the controversy or the point. They just want to reply to it to piss both people off and try to get people to respond to their bull crap. Like, they'll be like, oh, a respectful conversation on Twitter. And then there's some random third party that's like, well, what about this and this and this person said this and da-da-da, throw out like 8 different buzzwords. And then the other person be like, wait, they said that? And I get way more mad. I also have sometimes I've seen people be like, oh my God, what did my favorite content creator do? And then someone will reply with some shit that's just untrue. And then the person will believe them too. That's the thing. Y'all believe your moots more than your own brain sometimes, okay? Screw your moots. Sometimes your moots are dumb. Just because they're your moots doesn't mean they got a proper brain in their skull, all right? You gotta look into it yourself sometimes. Don't ask for summaries. If you ask for a summary, you're gonna get the wrong answer a lot of the time. You're oomphy, okay? Their brain a little bit oomphy, all right? And they say stuff so confidently sometimes, I'm like, damn. I will literally see this all the time on Twitter. Sometimes I will see it all the time, and it's the most insane thing to me. The most insane thing. Like, I will see, like, I will quite literally read up about a whole controversy, pretty much understand everything, see research. Then someone will subtweet the person, be like, I can't believe X content creator did this. And then someone will reply, but what did they do? And then the original poster will be like, they said this. And guess what? 9 times out of 10, they never said half that shit. They never said half that shit. They never said that. Motherfucker read the Spark Notes or the clickbait title and just spewed that shit like it was a fact. fact. So I'm just saying, sometimes your oomfies are a little bit stupid. Okay, your oomfies should not replace your own brain. I don't know how people will have such strong opinions about something they don't even know about firsthand. You only know about this because someone told you. And you don't even know if what the person told you is true. You didn't even look it up, but you wrote a whole paragraph about how this content creator upset you. But you didn't even look into it yourself. But you have enough energy to write an 8-tweet thread about the wrongs of this person, but you didn't even like look into what sparked this reaction. You just feel betrayed because you think you finally found a pure content creator or a good one, quote unquote. But you didn't even look into it. And that hurts the content creator. And guess what? It also hurts you as a viewer. Why does it hurt you as a viewer? Because what if you really like that content creator and now you don't watch them and you're trying to find a new person to fill that gap? Well, maybe if you looked into the controversy, stupid, you would know that they didn't fucking do anything that big of a deal. I'm just saying, like, sometimes you're hurting yourself with this behavior. It's not just even the content creator. Sometimes you're hurting yourself as a viewer. You're robbing yourself of content you find entertaining because you think this person did something because someone told you they did it, but you didn't look into it yourself. That's why the moots and the oomfies are unreliable. The moots and the oomfies, they're just some unreliable motherfuckers. You gotta use your own brain. Think, stupid. Think. God, I'm gonna get canceled for this stream. I've been saying some crazy shit. Actually, I'm gonna be honest, I've been saying some lukewarm ass shit. If you have a brain, if you have a brain and you watch the stream, nothing I said is that crazy. That's the funny part. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I got people from all over the world that watch me because of my past job. A lot of y'all are not North American. If y'all ain't all mad at me, I think I'm doing okay. Now, don't forget, there's also those people that stand people so hard that even if they know that someone did something wrong and it's shoved in their face, they'll still like support them blindly as if nothing happened. You know, like those people exist too. I'm not gonna say that doesn't exist as well. There's some unwavering loyalty that's a little too unwavering, but there's also some fickleness where it's like, if you thought a little bit, this wouldn't be a problem. And the thing is, I think this is more of a young people thing. I think once people get older, this happens less. The problem is young people are so loud on Twitter for whatever reason. I think once you old and you employed, like you don't got enough time for this shit personally. Like you got shit to do. You know, you got to do your taxes. You got to do something. You know, you got to like take care of your kids, walk your dog, you know, go to your chiropractic appointment because your stuff ain't aligned. Listen, I guarantee there are some people at 15 that I know that are more mature than some 40-year-olds I've met. Okay. I guarantee it. I've seen it. But I think a lot of this overarching behavior is a lot of young people feel very empowered by social media. And there's an echo chamber of people that think they're too scared of being bad that they perpetuate bad for the sake of good. Whereas older people are more okay with the idea of maybe being bad if they're willing to like look into it a little bit. They're more okay because older people rely on the external validation a lot less than younger people. So the thing with younger people on the internet is the reason there's all these echo chambers of opinions and, you know, younger kids being like throwing out 8 buzzwords and trying to make sure their content creators are perfect beings that have never done anything is because they want to feel good about being a good person. And when they hear from other people that they might not be, they cave and immediately change their opinion. Where if you're older enough and you're seasoned enough in life, or you've been through enough adversity to where you are okay with maybe being wrong, or maybe looking into stuff, or you actually have some core beliefs that you've built up over the years, you're less likely to waver in your opinion immediately when you get a little bit of pushback. That's why I've noticed this sort of stuff or this behavior comes from, because you want to be accepted. Isn't in life, are they food? It's an analogy. Younger people are more aware of more problems in the world nowadays, but they also are less aware of the fact that you got to look into shit before you give your opinion. Okay, they're more seasoned in potential issues and less seasoned in critical thinking around those potential issues. You know what I'm saying? Because when a lot of people that are older now, when they were younger, they didn't have all this access to all this information, and they didn't have access to speak about all this information. So it wasn't a problem. But nowadays, motherfuckers turn 13 and think they like understand, you know, what the f***'s happening in like, you know, some foreign, some foreign quibble in like, you know, some other random f***ing place. You know what I'm saying? Like there are quite literally conflicts in the world that have been going on since before some of these people have been born. And they're trying to act like they understand everything that's ever happened. The shit's been going on longer than you've been breathing. There's no way you've had enough time to research it extensively. There is no way on God's green earth that you had enough time to research this. It's been going on longer than you've been processing oxygen. You have been processing oxygen less than this has been happening. And you think you're going to be able to speed run what happened? I'm sorry, huh? I guarantee if I was 13 on the internet, I would have probably said some dumbass shit too. Well, I was 13 on the internet. I didn't really say any dumbass shit. But I guarantee if I like, you know, cared about shit or was trying to be like woke, I would have said some dumb shit probably. Also, I do like having discussions like this because I feel like it filters out a lot of the young idiots, okay? Me calling 13-year-olds stupid is gonna make 13-year-olds not want to watch me. Thank God, bless up. If you are 13 and can watch me, you're probably like more mentally competent than a lot of other 13-year-olds, okay? Because the fact that no one in this chat was like, I'm 13 and I'm mature, proof says a lot. Okay, if I had motherfuckers saying that in my chat, I'd be like, it's cooked. It's cooked. I need to get a new audience. It's cooked. But the fact that no one in the chat was like, I'm 13 and I'm offended and means that I'm fine. Because if you're 13, you're mature enough to know that that's not an appropriate response. And if you're not 13, you don't need to say that shit. But yeah, that's also why I like talking about this stuff. It filters out some of the dumbasses. Like I said, the reason I'm not apologizing for every little thing I might have potentially done wrong is because if I keep doing that, every little thing I ever do is going to be scrutinized. The more you apologize for my minuscule stuff, the more minuscule stuff you're going to have to apologize for. Because those people are going to stick around because you're going to appease them. If I apologize for something I'm not sorry for, those people are going to think I'm sorry for it and they're going to stick around. And because of that, I'm going to have more and more stuff I'm going to have to apologize for that I don't agree with. And then I'm going to be limiting myself and self-censoring more and more just to keep up an internet career. But the problem is, what a lot of people don't realize, if you're not like crazy offensive and you're a little bit controversial, you're a little bit opinionated, you actually have a more healthy audience if you're willing to put your foot down. And they'll be more loyal, less fickle, and you won't have to deal with half the bullshit. That was also a lot of the problem I had with some of the old audience at my old workplace. I felt like a lot of them were they expected you to apologize for everything potentially wrong that they thought you did. And I'm not that person. I don't give a f. And listen, if I don't think it's wrong, I'm not apologizing. If I maybe think I'm wrong, I will consider it and I'll look into it. Listen, if there's a doubt in my mind that I did something wrong, if I think there's potential that I did wrong, I will 100% back down and look into it. If I know for a fact nothing I said was fucking wrong and I genuinely believe that, I will not fucking apologize. Don't watch me if you disagree with me that much. You know what I'm saying? Like at that point, you're doing yourself and me a favor. But then when you're in a company, I think, oh, I agree. I 100% agree. I think if you're in a company and it's not only affecting you and your brand, you should bow down if it's going to be good for everyone else around you. For sure. That I agree with. And I think people think I don't think this. I 100% think that. But my issue depends on how minuscule the issues are and how much I need to do that affects my willingness to be certain places. So if I need to walk on eggshells to a ridiculous amount about everything, then I would just rather not be with the company. Versus if I'm okay with that, because I don't want to ruin anyone else's bag, whatever the f they got going good, because I disagree with the way things are ran. So I'd rather remove myself from that to therefore not hurt the people I care about and also give myself some peace of mind, you know? Because in some corporate environments or some content groups or orgs, companies, you can't avoid interacting with certain people. So if you don't ever apologize for shit you did, that the majority of the audience sees as f***ed up, or some of the audience, you're just going to hurt that other person when they're forced to interact with you through certain means. Apologize when you mean it because that makes them more respectful. I think it's honestly, I would rather say I'm not sorry for some shit I'm not sorry for than lie. I'm not gonna lie. I think people that lie about that, I think that's worse than just saying you're not sorry. Because how are you gonna lie to your audience and be like, would you be more hurt if a content creator you watched was like, I'm not sorry? Or if they said they were sorry and you found out they actually weren't behind the scenes? Because personally, I think if they say they're sorry, but they're fucking not behind the scenes, a lot worse. I would be way more bothered by that than if they were just kept at 100.